Do not conform to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind. Have you ever wondered why Jesus was called the Nazarene if he was born in Bethlehem and never founded any religion, not even the one called Christianity? What does this mysterious title really mean? Behind the name Nazarene lies a revelation that was silenced for centuries, a secret tied to an ancient spiritual order, older than Christianity and traditional Judaism, an order known as the Nazars. And according to esoteric traditions such as Gupta Vidya, Gnosticism, and Theosophical mysticism, Jesus was not only part of this order. He was its leader, the 18th sacred order among the 33 that govern the spiritual world. Yes, 33 orders, 13 higher, 20 intermediary, all focused on guiding human destiny through the soul. The Nazar order was one of them, known for its invisible, silent, yet deeply transformative action. The Nazarenes were not Jews and, of course, not Christians, as Jesus had not yet been crucified. They were a Gnostic, initiatic brotherhood, guardians of a sacred knowledge that combined Hebrew mysticism, Egyptian doctrines, Platonic philosophy, and ancient Eastern practices from Tibet, Mongolia, China, and India. They believed the material world was a temporary illusion, a veil over the true spiritual reality, and that the soul must pass through the gates of ignorance, desire, and death to be reborn as light. They lived in purity, isolation, silence, healing rituals, and ascension practices. Some confused them with the Essenes, and indeed there was a connection, but the Nazars went beyond. They were the separated ones, those consecrated to the mystery, and Jesus was one of them. More than that, he was the master of that order. But how did he prepare for this? Here we enter the hidden years of his life. The years the scriptures remain silent about, but many traditions preserve. From age 12 to 33, Jesus disappears from the biblical narrative. But according to ancient manuscripts and preserved accounts by writers like Nicholas Notovich and Abhedananda, he traveled to Egypt, Libya, India, Tibet. There, he studied with Egyptian priests, Hindu rishis, Buddhist monks, and desert masters. It was in these initiatic circles that he adopted the visible symbols of his sacred mission. The long white robe, symbol of spiritual purity and higher world connection, and the long hair, which in mystical traditions represents years of dedication to the divine work, a silent vow of service, accumulated wisdom, and energetic link to the higher worlds. These are not folklore. They are silent keys for those who know how to see. Such insights can be found in sources like the Apocryphal Gospels, the Gospel of the 12, the Nag Hammadi library manuscripts, and texts preserved by schools like Ubiosis, the Theosophical Society, and the writings of Steiner, Blavatsky, Eliphas Levi, Krumheller, among others. Jesus was not missing. He was being prepared like a sword is sharpened before battle. He learned the secrets of mantras, the subtle body, solar energy, life after death, and reincarnation. He unveiled the symbols of the Egyptian tarot, zodiac archetypes, and cosmic cycles. He became one with the Logos, the cosmic word that creates all things. And he returned to the Middle East, not as a preacher, but as an initiated instructor. The religion of the future will be cosmic. It will transcend a personal God and avoid dogma, combining spirituality and science. Albert Einstein, the title Nazarene was not geographical. It was initiatic. Like the Therapeutai of Egypt, the Sadhus of India, or the Magi of Chaldea, the Nazarenes were servants of the Spirit. And Jesus, as a Nazarene, represented the 18th of the 33 orders, the one tasked with breaking the cycle of ignorance and opening the path to inner rebirth. Each spiritual order, according to esoteric tradition, acts upon a level of the human soul. The 18th is tied to the awakening of the inner Christ, the solar self that overcomes the ego and transforms the being. It's no coincidence that his crucifixion occurred at age 33. It is a symbol. Jesus embodied the entire journey through the 33 orders, and in the end, he merged with the all. Why was all this hidden? Because Jesus' true teaching didn't serve religious or political power. He did not come to found a religion, he came to tear down the veil of lies. And that was dangerous. So they turned the Nazarene into a man from Nazareth. They erased his initiatic roots and removed from Scripture the years he spent learning from the great masters of the earth. But his message still echoes. It lives in those who dare to seek, in those who know that to follow Jesus is not to repeat words, but to be reborn from within, die to the world, and live in spirit. He who looks outside dreams, he who looks inside awakens. Carl Jung, you don't need to follow a religion to understand Jesus. He doesn't belong to a single faith. He is a symbol of a universal journey. Just as Buddha represents liberation of the mind, Krishna the surrender to Dharma, and Hermes the higher knowledge, Jesus represents the awakening of the solar heart. If he spoke in parables, it's because truth cannot be said directly. It must be felt, lived, from within, and maybe by remembering that he was a Nazarene not by geography, but by mission, you can look within and ask yourself, which order do you serve at this moment? The one of fear or the one of consciousness? Because deep down, the Nazarene lives in us, and the Christ he represented is waiting to be born in your heart. May this knowledge not be just more information, but a light lit in the silence of your soul. If this touched you, like the video, share it, and write in the comments. The inner Christ is awakening, and may the truth set you free, even if it hurts. Until the next revelation.